today we will walk through how we can create a code deploy services and how we can use them in our real-time scenarios. Okay. So let me go to services, and we have created one repository yesterday in the code commit, and we have cloned this repository and we have committed some code to code commit. So now I want to deploy this application to some system. Okay. Now can go to code deploy. Okay, here we have to click on this get started now. Click on it. Currently there are no created applications here in the code deploy. So if you are new, we can use this sample deployment. So what it will do, it will create it will take some sample application from the AWS S3 repository, and it will launch one new instance with a free tier eligibility, and it will show you the application up and running. Okay, for us, I have some custom application, so I want to use this custom deployment. Okay, let me check this custom deployment and skip walkthrough. Okay, so here first we have to create a new application to deploy some application to different instances. Okay, and here we have to create a new application and specify the instances to deploy. So where you want to deploy this application, we have to specify in this spec. Okay, so if any conditions are there, we have to specify the conditions also. Okay, so here I am giving the name CodeDeploy Lab. Okay, and this group is I am giving the SIT group. Okay, it's a grouping is nothing but environments. So like QA environment, SIT environment, staging, UAT. Okay, for each environment we can maintain any number of instances, right? So once you create a group, we can deploy the code to all the instances at a time. Okay, so here add instances and locate and add existing instances to this deployment group. So if you have already running existing instances, we have to add the instances here. Okay, so before create a new application, we have to create roles, and we have to create a one instance. Okay. So what are the roles we have to create? We have to create a one instance role and code deploy instance role, and one is the code deployer role. So yesterday we have discussed about the roles. What are the roles we require to create it? Okay, code deploy instance role and code deploy service role. These two roles we have to create before creating the application. Okay, so let me create these roles. Go to IAM console and go to roles, create a new role. Okay, and give the role name and next. So in this we have to add these two policies. Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodeDeploy. So this will allows EC2 instance under CodeDeploy to access S3. Okay, and this is the auto scaling notification access role. So this allows push notifications to SNS or SQS. SNS is simple notification service. SQS is simple queue service. Okay, so I have to give this Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodeDeploy and auto scaling notifications. So here I am creating the service role type is EC2. So allow EC2 instances to call AWS services on your behalf. Okay, I am selecting this one. So I want Amazon EC2 EC2 you can search CodeDeploy. Okay, Amazon EC2 role for CodeDeploy. So I want to add this role, and another one is auto scaling notification access. So I'm adding two policies to this role. Okay, and then next, okay, and then create a role. So I have created a role, instance role I have created, and another role is service role. CodeDeploy service role. To this role we have to give this policy. We have to attach this AWS CodeDeploy role. Select this. So if you are giving different kind of service roles, we have to check that service role is exist or not here. So I am going to create a CodeDeploy role. So you can take this. Okay, select this. Allows CodeDeploy to access other AWS services such as auto scaling on your behalf. Okay, so select this one and select this role. Select this policy. Next, create role. Okay, we have created two roles here. Okay, next we have to launch on EC2 instance. So go to EC2 instances. Okay, let me create a new instance. EC2, select the Amazon Linux AMI. So free type. Next, so these things are same, no need to change. So another one advanced option is here, click expand this advanced details. So here we can see the user data. Okay, as a text, as a file. Input is already base 64 encoded, so as a text. So you can if you want to execute any commands after your instance is ready, we can put those commands here. So once your instance is ready, it will execute those commands. Okay, so I want to put install the Ruby and wget and CodeDeploy agent on this. So I want to add some code here. So I can copy this. Okay, let me check anything is missed. Okay, when you are copying, just check this single quote when you are copying from the PPT, so it will give a different symbols. So due to that problem, it won't execute these commands. Okay, so I am installing the HTTPD server and downloading the client and installing that one also. Okay. Okay, now next, add storage. So this is fine. And next, tag instance. Okay, next, tag instance. So here, so what is the actual advantage of this tag is, suppose if you are giving the name here like SIT or UAT, when you are creating instances, or Apache web server, or a Tomcat web server, or a WebLogic web server, if you create a tag your instance, so when you are adding a CodeDeploy, it will you can just select the tag. So you don't need to select all the instances. Okay, if you give the different name every time, so you have to attach all these instances in your CodeDeploy. Okay, if you attach all instances single tag, you can directly attach the tag while you are creating your code deploy application. Okay, I'm code deploy uh, code deploy lab I am giving here. Okay, and then next, select an existing group. I want to use, okay, I want to use this code deploy SG. uh, okay, I am using the default security group, because in this way I have added 22 put to access this system through putty. Okay, and this is to access my application. Okay, if we remove this, we can't access our application once that application is deployed. Okay, so next, review and launch. So you can review your configuration of your EC2 and then launch. So if you have existing key, you can select that one. So choose an existing key. I'm using the existing key here. Okay, and then launch instance. Okay, now you can go to the view instances. Okay, so it is already generated public IP and public DNS for this instance. Okay, so now let's next what we have to do. We have created a two roles, and we have launched the EC2 instance with some executable commands. And next uh, we have to create a code deploy application. Okay, if you are using the Git repository, you have to follow some steps. We have to do init, git init, add, and I will share my code with you, so you can put it on your you can create a GitHub repository, or you can create a AWS code commit repository. Okay, once you create the repository, you can push that code to your repository. Okay, and okay, it is running. Okay, go back to code deploy. So here you can add tag type. Okay, Amazon EC2 or auto scaling group. So if you select auto scaling group, how many instances are running on this auto scaling group, it will automatically deploy to that entire auto scaling group. And on premises, if you have your own server in your private network with some firewall settings, allowing allowing request from out of that private network. So we can also deploy to the private networks. Okay, so now I am selecting the Amazon EC2. So here you can select the name, and it will display the what are the tags are existing. Here it will show you the currently two instances are running. If you click here, we have only one tag, so code deploy. So it means it will there are two instances are running under this tag, so it is automatically taken the two instances. Okay, so in the bottom we have some deployment configuration here. So how you want to deploy this application, means there are 10 instances under this tag. So how you want to deploy? You want to deploy one at a time, or half at a time, or full at a time. So there is options here. We can configure based on our requirement. So one at a time, and all at once, half at once. Okay, so currently I am choosing one at once. Okay, if you want to create any triggers, we can create triggers. Okay, so when we completed that SNS, where then we can create these triggers. Okay, and service role IN IRN. go to here, click on here. This is the service role ARN. We have to copy this service role ARN, and it will automatically populate. Okay. Okay, and then create application. So congratulations, the application CodeDeploy Lab has been created. Okay, so you can see the revisions here. Currently there are no deployed revisions here. So how we can deploy this? So we have just created a code deploy application. So how we can deploy a particular revision exist in the code commit or GitHub. Okay, so you can select your group, okay, and click on actions, deploy new version. Okay, deploy new version. So here we have to select the application name. So CodeDeploy Lab is my application name, and currently we have only one deployment group. We can create a multiple deployment groups. Okay, I am selecting the SIT group. Okay, my application is stored in the Amazon S3, or my application is stored in a GitHub. I am in Ariga. Oh, shit. Okay, my application is exist in a GitHub. In the Oregon origin, there is no support for the AWS code commit. Currently, it is supporting for Virginia. So if you create a EC2 instance and code deploy everything in Virginia, you will see the AWS code commit option here. Okay. So my application is stored in GitHub. So you can connect with GitHub. Okay, here it is reconnect to. So I have already logged into my GitHub account, so that's why it is automatically connected. So if you are not connected, it will ask you the username and password. So once you log into the GitHub, you will get reconnect to GitHub. Okay, so here we have to enter the repository name. So let me copy it.
A small doubt here.
Yeah.
This is the GitHub that we set up ourselves, right? It
Yes.
is not related to AWS, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is my sample repository. So I am copying this. This is my repository name. So you can go to AWS Management Console and paste your repository name here. So here we have to commit ID. What is the commit ID? If you go to the GitHub repository, in the top you can see the commits. Okay, so this is the initial commit. So initial commit is nothing is there in the initial commit. Next one is this one, adding sample application. In this I have added actual my application. So you can take this. This is your commit ID. Okay, you can copy this, or you can directly copy it from, click on commits. So you can directly copy it from here. Okay, copy the full shop. So we have copied the commit ID and paste your commit ID here. Okay, and you can select the deployment configuration. So code deploy default, one at a time, code deploy all at once. So based on your requirement, you can select this option. Okay, I have selected only one. Deploy now. We can see the status here. Okay, we can see the status here. So you can see it is deploying to which instance. You can, if you click on the deployment ID, so it is deploying to this instance. So you can click on this instance.
Sri, one more doubt.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, Srinivas, tell.
Yeah, when you say code deploy, I mean the deployment that we all know is when we are having code, we will be deploying that code into any application server or web container.
Yeah.
But what is this code deploy and where it is? If I'm not wrong, this is also used to deploy the code into any container. Where it is deploying exactly?
It is deploying to the Apache web server. So
Got it. I mean, you created a instance. In that instance, we have Apache web server.
yeah,
Sorry, Apache Tomcat. In that Tomcat, it is deploying.
not
That's what.
not Apache Tomcat. It's only Apache web server. So if you see in my previous slide, see when I am launching the new instance, I have executed all these commands. So it is
Okay.
Ruby and wget and HTTPD web server. It is a Apache web server.
So we are deploying any Java code or simply HTML pages.
HTML code.
Okay, right.
Okay, we can.
If I wanted to install Tomcat and I wanted to deploy something into it, how to do?
Yeah, we can do that also. I will show you after this one.
Yeah, sure. Can.
Okay, for the deploying web application, another service is also there, Elastic Beanstalk. So using that also we can deploy.
Okay. The instance should be different.
Yeah.
The same. This is not the instance wherein we can deploy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to put our application server and we have to do the configuration.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's walk through it also. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so just now when it was created, okay, it is deploying to this instance. We can let me go to services, code deploy. Okay, so here you can see the status. Error code. So, let me go to deployments. So it is in progress. Maybe it is having the problem with executing those commands. Maybe those commands are failed while launching the instance. So let me connect to the instance. And copy this. Username. Advanced authentication. Browse the private key. So code deploy and okay, open, login. Actually, we can check the maybe it is not installed. Okay, now let me create a script file here. Nano code apply. I'm creating a executable script file based on my commands. So I'm copying this and put it here. To execute my bunch of commands, I'm preparing this script. Okay, so instead of running all these commands manually, I'm putting these all commands in a single script file. Okay, and so I am giving permissions to executable, making as a executable and running the command. Okay, save it, Ctrl X and Y, enter. Okay, this file is saved. And we can check the permissions. So currently there are no executable permissions to this chmod. So I am giving the executable permissions to this user CodeDeploy. Okay, sudo slash CodeDeploy, enter. So now it is installing these services. Yes, chmod replaces change mode cannot access dot install, no such file or directory is there. Okay, maybe this permission was not set to this chmod. I am giving the executable permissions to this install also. Sure. Okay, now slash install slash auto. It means it will take the auto configuration and it will install the CodeDeploy agent. Okay, this command is to install the CodeDeploy agent. Okay, so we have to install this CodeDeploy agent in our all instances. So in which instance you are going to deploy your code, so in that instance we should install the CodeDeploy agent. Okay, to install the CodeDeploy agent, this is the command to download the CodeDeploy agent, and this is to give the executable permissions to that file, and it will take the auto configuration and it will install the agent. Okay, and for this this Ruby and wget is required to download these things, so that's why I'm running these commands. So updating and then installing Ruby and wget. Okay, so now go to AWS CodeDeploy. Okay, this was failed. If you can see the status, see here the overall deployment failed because too many individual instances failed. deployment. Too few healthy instances are available for deployment. This is the health constraint. This is the actual error. We can see this actual error in the agent level. Okay. Let me go back. Applications. CodeDeploy Lab. Okay, select this one and go to click on actions. Deploy new revision and select your application here. I select your group and my application is stored in a GitHub. Okay, and give the repository name. Copy your repository name. Okay, and commit ID. I have to get the commit ID. So copy full stop, and this is the commit ID, and one at a time. Okay, and then deploy now. So here is status is created. If you refresh here, it is changed to in progress. So minimum health was 1 of 2. It is trying to deploy 1. We have selected only the code deploy default dot 1 at a time. Let me check the logs. cd where log. What's the problem here? Let me check the previous deployment group are experiencing problem. Deployment group. Let me check the instances here. There are 2 instances running. Instance name, both instance names are same. Okay, let me stop this one. Generally, it will not take this much time. Maybe it is stuck somewhere. Pretty sure not. Let me check the configurations. Deployment configurations, applications, code deploy. Oh my god. Yeah, now I understood the problem. We forgot the we forgot one thing while creating an instance. So when you are creating an instance, we have to select the instance role. We have created one code deploy instance role, right? We have to select that instance role. So that's why it is. Let me stop this. I hope this instance have the start. Every time I think it is picking up this one, so that's why it is having the problem. Let me check the logs. Click on failed status. So this is picked. Instance ID. Ten to C. 10 to C, it is picked this one, and the previous one this one. This one also, both the times it is picked up this one, because we have not launched this instance with the CodeDeploy EC2 role, CodeDeploy instance role. So we have created this role, right? We have to launch. When you are launching the instance, we have to select this role. So then we can do the deployment. Okay, maybe that's why this comments or execution is failed. Okay, let me try with this one. Refresh. Okay, now it is running. Now let me go to AWS CodeDeploy. Go to applications, select the application and select here new version. Select your application name, group name, and GitHub, and the repository name. Okay, and then commit ID. Copy it. Paste your commit ID here. Enter time. Okay, it is still running, not a problem. So I can click on deploy now. Currently it is not showing, this site is not reached. Okay, let me check it here. Yeah, now instance is ready. And expand this one. Oh my god, again it is taking the instance to C only, so it is trying to deploy this one. Okay, let me detach that instance from the tag. Okay, I hope this time also it will fail definitely, so we can, okay, we can cancel it also. We can, let me stop here, stop now. So it is stopping the process, deployment stop. Okay, now let me go to applications, select the CodeDeploy application, select the group, click on actions, new revision, select your application name, select your group, GitHub, and the repository. So commit ID and config. Okay, it is initiated. Let me check the instance ID. Now it is taking the correct instance. Okay. So this instance is running perfectly. Go to deployments. Let me check the status once. Something is happening. Okay, meanwhile we can create a new instance. It's not a problem. It's taking a lot of time. Next configuration, and so here we have to select the role, code deploy instance role. So that is we missed previously while creating the instance. Let me add this user data. Okay, let me save this. Code deploy. Okay, I have a script file here. Okay, I'm copying this script to my desktop. Okay, while launching, I am browsing my executable file. Okay, desktop, code deploy. Okay, so I have selected my instance role, and next configuration, tag instance. Code deploy test I am giving. Okay, giving the different tag name here, and select existing group, default one, review and launch it, launch. Again it was failed. The overall deployment failed because too many individual instances failed deployment. Too few healthy instances are available for deployment, or some instances in your deployment group are experiencing problem. Maybe the instance issue. Okay, I have created a new instance. Okay, now let me go to applications. Click on code deploy applications and select this application. Select this group, edit the group, and let me change this group name. Okay, code deploy test. Now it is here, it is showing only one instances. Okay, deployment configuration one at a time, and the service role is deploy service. Save it. Now select this one, actions, deploy new revision. Let me copy the repository name. Repository name and commit ID. Deploy now. So let me expand this deployment ID. Now minimum healthy host 0. So maybe that is not running right now. Advanced. Yeah, now it is ready. This one is installed. Let me check the status checks. So instance status check, please checks monitor your software network. Everything here shows 0, 0. Should not take this much time. It is taking this much time means it is having some problem with the instance. Okay. Let me check this Apache HTTP servers. Service HTTP status unrecognized service. chmod plus x code developer. Install one package. This be that user data commands are not executing properly. So that is the problem. It is given. Install AWS. Failed. Okay. Same. This is the healthy problem. Healthy problem. Let me do one more time. Sorry. Copy it and most recent event before install. You can see the view all instant events. So now succeeded. So very small thing. Okay, now it is deployed successfully. So let me access this IP. Okay, so it is showing congratulations. This application was deployed using AWS CodeDeploy. Okay, so let me go back to CodeDeploy. So again go to applications. Okay, I have deployed my first revision. Okay, in this revision, this is the code base. Okay, and after that I have made some changes. So I want to deploy those changes also. So you can click on your CodeDeploy application and select your group. Click on deploy new revision and select CodeDeploy application name and group. Select your repository type, revision type. So and then provide a repository name. And commit ID. Commit ID. Previously I have deployed this revision. I want to deploy this revision. Okay. So select this. So select at a time. Deploy now. Okay, refresh here. It is in progress. Succeeded. If you go to this page and refresh here, so some more text is added. You have deployed your application successfully using AWS CodeDeploy. Okay, so like this we can deploy single revisions into multiple instances or single instances using the CodeDeploy. Okay, let me walk through this. So we can see it is instance level only, it is failed, so that's why it is unable to deploy. You can see, if you see the successful deployment, we can see the events. So there we can see the events. Let me go to failed one and click on your deployment ID. So there are no events actually failed. So if your application is deployed successfully, then we can see these events. So it is instance itself, it is failed due to some application is not installed properly or instance is not launched with the proper role. So that's why the initial level itself, it is failed. Here minimum health cost is 0. So if you see the successful deployments, so here also it is showing 1, but if you see the events, So what are the events executed? So while deploying this application, so application stop, okay, download bundle, before install, install, after install, application start, validate service. So all these events are triggered when this application is deployed to particular instance. Is it clear? Any doubts?
It's clear.
Okay, so let me walk through once. So first of all, we have to create a IAM roles. Okay, we have to create a role, code deploy instance role, and to that instance role, we have to attach two policies: Amazon EC2 role for AWS code deploy and auto scaling notification access role. And another role is code deploy service role. To this role, we have to attach AWS code deploy role. Okay, so we have to create two roles. One is for launching your EC2 instance, and another one is access other AWS services through code deploy service. Okay, so that's why we have created two roles, and next we have to create a we have to launch new instance with this code deploy instance role. Okay, so second step is we have to launch new instance with this code deploy instance role, and you can put these executable commands while creating your instance, or if it is not executing, once your instance is launched, you have to execute these commands. These commands is Ruby is required prerequisite to install the AWS code deploy. So this is the commands to execute, commands to install AWS code deploy agent. Okay, so once your instance is ready, you have to run these commands manually, or somehow the script is not executing when we placed that script in the user data. Okay, so and the next step is we have to create a code deploy application. So let me walk through once creating the code deploy. Okay, click on applications. Okay, create a new application. So give your application name and group name, and here you can select your EC2 instance and your name. So how many instances are there in your selected tag? Those instances will automatically populate here. Okay, and then deployment configuration. Here we have to decide. So you want to deploy this application to single instance or all at once. So all at once means how many instances are there in that group. Okay, so and half at a time. So let's say in one group 5 instances are there. So you want to deploy 2 instances or 3 instances, we can deploy it. Okay, so and then we have created another role, service role, code deploy service role. So we have to take that AWS code deploy service role here. We have to select the service role here and then create an application. Okay, so once you create the application, you have to select that application. Okay, and select your group and click on the actions, deploy a new revision. Okay, and select your application name and group name here again, and here you have to decide revision type. So where your code is there, your code is exists in Amazon S3 or GitHub or AWS code commit. So based on that you have to select this option, and you have to specify the your authentication details and commit ID, and you can choose your deployment configuration here also. Okay, you can choose your deployment configuration and then deploy now. So it will deploy that particular revision change to different instances. Okay, based on your selected group. Is it clear?
Sir.
Okay.